What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Panda here. As you see in the background, we are crushing in Arena right now with some really interesting champions. Let's dive right in. And welcome back, guys. If you haven't already seen my previous video, this weekend was very kind to me, and we got our hands on Iovar, which I was not expecting to get at all, but we got our hands on him, and he is doing wondrous things for us in single target arena specifically. Now, of course, we are still seeing a lot of damage coming from Silas and from Valeria, but Iovar is still very good here for several different reasons. Reason number one is, of course, he is a Lord for Silas, right? We get this amazing Lord skill here that gives us a ton of damage. We just get that 15% damage pretty quickly into the fight, which is really awesome. But not only that, he also has his ultimate, which does a lot of quick single target burst damage, and it comes up pretty quickly. And when you put him into a Soulbound Arcana set, he builds up damage very quickly as well, which is really good in single target arena. So I'm going to show you how I've been doing these fights. I'm just going to play it on auto. Of course, this one is we have a little bit of a BP advantage here, but the previous fight you saw, we were relatively close in BP, about 10k or so off, and we are doing really well when it comes to the damage that we're able to actually do in single target arena. Even when we do lose in like these first couple rounds, occasionally we're typically able to pick the win back up because of Iovar's quick single target burst damage that a lot of the teams that we're fighting don't take into account. So you'll see here, we're going to take this third win here because Silas is going to pop his ultimate, and we're going to be able to crush it very quickly. Then we place down our Iovar, and this is where Iovar starts to shine because he's going to have his ultimate up right away, and he's going to pop it almost immediately. You'll see, of course, that he's slowly building up these swords in the background, and here comes the ult, bump, easily won the wave, and of course, we start building up our swords again. And this is where I think Iovar is really going to shine because he's given a lot of downtime to build up his swords. So with a relatively minimal investment in terms of just building the champion up, giving him some decent gear, you're going to be able to have a lot of success. I'm able to get to anywhere from 8 to 12 swords in between waves, and that of course is depending on my opponent. If you were to get him to, for example, A1 and you hit that 40%, you'd be almost guaranteed to get yourself up to 12 swords right off of the bat, which is incredibly powerful in this type of game mode. We'll do a couple more fights here. I'm literally just doing a final push as the week is coming to a close. We have about 2 hours until week reset, and I want to try and see if I can get a push into Overlord. I've been very lazy. This week has been crazy for me when it comes to work, and so I haven't had a chance to sit down and play a lot of my arena battles. So because of that, we are a little bit behind in our arena battles, and by a little bit I mean a lot. I had like 50 something battles saved up, so hopefully that's enough to push us into Overlord, especially with the Silas Iovar combo that we have going on here, and of course the tried and true Valeria tank on the ground is of course always helpful as well. But I really think that Iovar is a game-changing champion for a lot of people. Now, if you've been following my channel for a little while, you do know that I have an Aracha that I just recently pulled, which is the main reason why I actually didn't think I was going to get lucky and get the Iovar pull, because I literally just hit my pity on Ancients with the Aracha 15x banner that was out recently. And so because of that, I was very concerned about actually having a chance at getting Iovar onto my account. But I was able to get pretty lucky and pull an Iovar, and he has been very good. You're going to see several videos. This is probably the second video, maybe the third video that you've seen already on just my Iovar and the Iovar gameplay and various things. So, I am definitely taking advantage of the amazing things that Iovar has done for my account. And I don't have any other words. I mean, this guy is just phenomenal in single target arena. I would love to see how well he does in other places. I think he's going to have a good place in anti-air arena as well, because of course anti-air is always a good thing, and he has that sort of built-in like anti-air damage, which is of course really nice as well. And then again, because it's anti-air, we're already bringing in a lot of piercer marksmans because they do really well versus air opponents, and so it makes sense you're going to want a Lord for those situations, and Iovar fits that bill pretty effectively, in my personal opinion. But as you can see here, we are just crushing it. I mean, we are doing wondrous things. There are some situations, obviously, like this one, where when you're playing on auto, it just kind of happens. It's not always the greatest, but you'll see we're building up those swords in the background. That was with, I think, 9 swords, maybe 10. And we're completely, destroying. I mean, it's completely just a complete destruction of the enemy. When we pop that ultimate, it takes them down almost instantly. Like right there, you see almost instantly whatever it's targeting is just completely destroyed. It's very quick burst damage, which is really, really good. Now obviously in this case we would have won anyways because he let a person through and doesn't have a way to clear it, but that is how we're able to really, really crush in anti-air, or sorry, in single target arena specifically right now, because he does that amazing burst damage. We'll go to look at the damage that we have here. There's the Platinum 3 push, awesome. But you can see here, I mean, he's doing 3.3 million damage, and keep in mind, this is not skilled up Iovar. I'm going to show you my Iovar right now just so that you can see, you know, what it is that we're working with. He is not skilled up, which I think is a really big thing for him, right? He's missing 3 on his basic attack. He's missing 3 on his passive here. This is a lot. We're missing 8% defense penetration, right? We're also missing 4 ultimate skills, right? So this is another, what, 15% damage, which is a lot. I mean, it's a lot of damage that we're missing out on. So once I get him fully skilled, I think he's going to be even crazier. He's probably going to easily surpass Valeria, may even give Silas a run for his money. Let's go ahead and, I almost forgot, let's go ahead and take a look at his gear. This is the gear that I currently have on him. I do think there's, of course, a little bit of room for improvement, but we're sitting at a nice, healthy 15k attack. We also have a good attack interval of 1.1 second. I would like to see this go to 1 second if possible, just so we have that nice, flat, even number, but realistically, I think this is a relatively good attack speed for him. That's, of course, with a additional 254, giving us 354 in total. We're just a little bit over crit cap at 102%, and a nice healthy crit damage of 322.5. We do also have a touch of rage regen sitting at 23.5, which for him I don't think is actually that important because of the fact that his ultimate is such a low cost, sitting only at 500. He really just ults very quickly, so rage regen is nice, but not really needed. But other than that, we have some really good pieces. We do have him in a crit rate piece, which I think is crazy for the amount of stats we're actually getting, but it does have a healthy attack bonus and a decent crit damage roll on it, which really makes up for the fact that we're not using that main stat. And then here we also have a attack bonus with some crit rate, crit damage. Here we've got attack bonus with, again, crit damage here and rage regen, and this allows us to use a crit damage piece because a piece without crit rate on it because we have the crit rate bangle on. And then, of course, we have this amazing piece here with this ginormous crit damage roll, and also another one here, the 4-statted Annihilating Might breastplate. And yeah, I gotta say, I mean, I really like the builds. Of course, there is obviously always going to be room for improvement. You're never gonna have a perfect setup, but it works out really nicely in my opinion. We are currently using a Spirit Siphon on him. We are actually building up a 3rd Spirit Siphon. As you can see, we have 1 on our Silas and 1 on our Hex that are fully maxed out. We are building the 3rd one on Iovar because we are using him in our guild boss, which you may have already seen that video or it's coming out after this video. I'm not sure the order that they're going to be released quite yet, but we are going to have all 3 Spirit Siphons maxed out eventually, so that Iovar can deal some really good damage, because I can tell you a little sneak peek, unless you've already watched that video, he does some pretty good damage in guild boss, right? It's not game changing, but it's pretty good. But guys, let me know if you guys happen to get lucky and pull yourself an Iovar. You know, if you're using him in single target arena, I think he is fantastic, and I'm really excited to use him in other locations, such as the anti-air arena, like I said before, because I think he has some potential there as well. I could also potentially see him being good in, you know, some other places, like potentially AoE arena, when paired with people like Razak or Nyx. I think there's some potential there as well. Just because of the high cost of those champions, probably not as much possibility, but if you don't have anything better, definitely could make sense. But either way, I think Iovar is a great champion. I highly recommend pulling on him if you haven't done so already. I think this video will be coming out when he's still available. If not, and you happen to get him in the future, definitely build him up. He is fantastic. But let me know in the comment section down below. Like I said before, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you liked the video, and also don't forget to hit subscribe, as we are making that huge push for 5,000 subscribers, and every subscriber counts. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.